Second.
All in favor, say aye. Opposed, same sign. Or perhaps we want to go. Maybe we'll just go, we'll go firm by firm. And, try and, by the process of elimination, maybe come to a consensus on who we want to move forward with as far as the service provider is concerned. For the architecture services for the city hall project.
I guess my initial thought would be that we strike the city's edge proposal from consideration. It was one of the most expensive, and then also, you know, compared to the others, they didn't offer any examples of jobs that they've done, and it doesn't look like they tried very hard on the submit compared to the other guys, and being more expensive. Anyone feel differently about that?
No, they seem quite high for not offering the whole bunch.
Just a letter?
It's 3 pages.
Oh, that's why I'm so confused.
Yeah, that's why you're so
I
confused.
didn't.
So yes, it is only the 3 pages, the letter and like a scope of services. So
25% to a decision.
great job.
Is everybody in consensus with that then?
Yeah.
All right.
So I think the next one in your packet is the HMA. I think I tried to do them alphabetically just so nobody could accuse me of playing favorites of firms I have no experience with. So
These guys look like they know what they're doing. They offered several examples, lots of profiles on their people. They're a smaller company. This was interesting where they would offer QR codes so people could see what the project would look like on their cell phone. And like you look around like this on the phone and it follows the 3D rendering of the project. So that was interesting. I thought that was neat. They kind of laid out how they would go about the project approach. And then their costs were on a percentage base of the total. So I don't necessarily like that, because then if the price of the project goes up, we have to use contingency fees or something potentially, then they would just raise their price as the price of the project goes up. However, at 200,000, at 8%, that was, I mean, they're competitively priced with the others. And everyone seems to add on an additional amount of money for trying to utilize the 170/90 tax credit advantages. I guess it's probably new enough for people that they don't have it all cookie cutter yet, but I was surprised to see that everybody has it as a line item extra.
So, and a couple of notes about that, because I did chat with Marcus today also just about the proposals. So yes, you have kind of a base bid here, and then you have the additional money that different firms are mentioning for the alternate kind of mechanical design. If the council does move forward with kind of wanting to go that alternate mechanical design route, you're also probably looking at a longer timeline to do so. So currently Marcus Construction in the RFP, they talked about 6 weeks for the construction drawings, which is a pretty aggressive timeline. But they could see that going up to 12 weeks if the council did want to pursue the alternate mechanical design, just to give those firms time to work all those different options out. So just giving you guys a broader picture of if we are exercising that, you have those additional costs, plus the timeline is going to go up as well.
Did you happen to get any information, from Marcus, on what they thought we would get in, what we would bring in terms of capital from the tax credit?
They did not, because they would want each of these different firms with the different base bids to determine that.
Yeah.
They didn't want to speak out of turn.
Did they say anything about operating costs? Or-
They did not. When I asked them that, they were again kind of hedging their bets on what that may or may not save, since they wouldn't be the ones doing the studies or anything like that.
Yeah, because I mean, if they came back and said, oh yeah, you could spend $25,000 extra on this equipment or whatever.
But
and-
you save 40 in the
Yeah,
long.
then it'd be like, oh, well, that's worth considering. If it's like, but it'll take you your whole life to get your money back out of it, it's not really worth it then.
Yeah,
So it's that part's kind of, I need the full financial picture in order to,
yeah. They did say, HMA doesn't currently have experience working with Marcus Construction. But they do believe, Marcus Construction believes that this project is very well suited to what HMA Architects does and does well. So
yeah, they offered a lot of examples of similar type buildings.
Do they, I don't know if it's about, if I'm able to ask that, but do they have a preference? when you look at-
they did not. Nope. I can tell you, so they don't have experience working with HMA. They have the most experience working with COMA and the second most experience working with WIDSAF. The three firms that the council has already narrowed it down to were identified by Marcus as probably the best firms identified to bring this project across the finish line. They were in concurrence with what has already been weeded out.
Yeah, it seemed like Coma sent like more of a contract over than had a lot of detail in there about delivery of electronic files, who owns stuff, job site safety.
So a couple of notes Marcus had about the optional services and fees listed in the COMA contract. So one of the things they talk about is the project manual / technical specifications, which is 10,000. They mentioned that's really not make or break. That type of information is incorporated in your drawings. So that's totally fine to just have them in the drawings. You don't need separate like a pulling out of that. The alternate HVAC system and generator, you get that on other people for the alternate mechanical systems. The boundary topographical survey, the city will need to do a survey regardless of this project because we're looking at acquiring the alleyway, which would mean we would need a new survey of City Hall property. So that cost doesn't really need to be considered. And they have no way of knowing if the interstate engineering civil engineer that's listed is the Olivia branch. I asked. We have interstate engineering here, so.
It was mentioned by the individual, so.
Oh, okay.
That's a possibility.
So they're at 202,500 for the base charge.
Yep.
And then 19,500 for doing the alternative HVAC system.
Yeah, which would bring them as a total to 222,000.
Which is like the same as HMA.
Yeah, except that HMA is they've got a,
Yeah,
Except they're in
Percentage.
percentage.
so their estimate for HMA was 200,000 for the base bid, 25,000 for the alternate mechanical design. So that's the total of 225,000. So COMA is technically 3,000 under that.
It's fixed.
mhm.
And they have experience working with.
Yes.
I like wood sauce. I know we haven't got there yet, but
I mean, I think that's an excellent transition.
way. I don't know how they can afford it, but they're way under everybody else.
So they were way under. Their alternate mechanical design is higher at 50,000, but that's, they think, to accommodate not just mechanical design, but what would be included in that. So any type of constructural adjustments and stuff like that. Whereas the belief is that the other bids for mechanical design are solely for mechanical, and those firms are not taking into consideration how that might impact future construction. But if you take their base bid of just shy of 180, plus the 50,000, they're at 229,500. And again, this is only if you have the base bid, and then this is only if the council decides to move forward on that alternate mechanical design.
And construction administration is not included. Did you just explain that?
No, that was, the alternate mechanical design. That's another 40,000. So, that's their, so that has not been added into this, no.
And it's gonna be hourly billed.
Yes.
Did you say 180?
Their base bid is 179,500.
You include the construction administration in with.
Oh, that's,
much,
yep, that's
yeah.
what I'm including in front of that. You're right.
That came out to 179.
Yeah, so the 139,500 plus the 40,000 is where I was getting the 179,500 as their base bid, because we need construction administration. That's not something that we get to decide. We
Right.
can't do.
And then, so then it's 50,000 more. then you're at
50,000 more.
229,500.
Yep,
So you're really, everything's,
Within $5,000.
yeah.
Well, if you're taking the top of everything, yeah.
correct. If you're taking the top of everything, if you're just looking at the base bids, it's different. If you're just looking at the base bids and not including the mechanical design, Widseth is the lowest.
Is there any of these quotes that don't include something that we need?
Not that I saw,
Okay.
not that Marcus highlighted either. Actually, no, I take that back. Soils testing, but I believe soils testing had been done on a previous project, so I'm looking to see if that already exists that we can reuse. Justin and Kendra mentioned it had been done by the previous firm to look at this project, so I'm seeing if those records exist. So excellent question. Sorry, had to catch up on that one.
The way Marcus, I guess, implied the $40,000 to $50,000 here, we could be looking at adding that on to some of these other bids.
You
Some of it,
Some of it, because they're looking at not just the alternate mechanical system, but what that would, the costs that would choose to execute that alternate mechanical system. Where some of these people, it sounded like we're just looking at the mechanical system. So if they move forward, you could see some of those costs go up, it sounded like. If you move forward in that direction.
With like coma or something?
Yeah. So that's how they explained why the 50,000 was so high.
So the other ones would probably go up.
They could, they have the potential.
Well, I'm sorry. I was just gonna say, I do like the idea, especially with our compressed time scale of having companies that have experience working with Marcus. With, if hopefully there's good relationships there, that'll help communication be faster, smoother, better. So that matters to me in this case. And last night when I was looking through it, I thought Widseth probably was the one I would choose.
the cheapest on all of them. I think when you start doing apples to apples, with the knowledge that it's possible that the other two could potentially increase if we look at the alternate HVAC stuff, which it sounds like we're going to. So I don't know. I guess I don't see a reason not to go with Woodseth at this point.
Did Marcus have any recommendation? They had no recommendation. You said.
No recommendation. Again, they just provided, they felt comfortable that HMA, Coma, Widseth would be excellent partners. And then they mentioned, again, they work already quite well with both Coma and Widseth. They have previous relationships with those two firms. They don't currently have any experience with HMA, but Cody knows some of them in a professional sphere and felt like this project was suited to what their firm does and does well. So they felt comfortable with all three of the options on the table. It's just your all preference.
I'm with them. I'm fine with this now.
Yeah, I like their proposal the best. I like their experience. And I like some of the projects they've done previously too. That look good.
Somebody want to make an official motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the bid by Woodseth.
Second.
Motion's been made by Evers, seconded by Patterness to move forward with a relationship with Woodseth in company with Marcus Construction for the architectural services for the City Hall Police and Fire Renovation Addition. That sound like a good summary of your motion? Right. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Oh, we need a roll call vote, okay. We'll go roll call vote, Counselor Patterness.
Aye.
Counselor Baumgartner.
Aye.
Counselor Ferguson,
Aye.
and I'm abstaining, Counselor Evers.
Aye.
It's unanimous. Motion passes.
Thanks, Jasmine.
Okay, we'll go to the second discussion item buried somewhere here in
Right here.
I know, we're talking about the opportunity to, make a purchase on some water meters at a
Very discounted rate.
nice price there. So, do we have any open discussion about the water meters?
What was the normal price again?
So the normal price is $320 per meter, and at this, we're getting them for $190. So we originally were thinking maybe only 50. We upped that to 100 because Dave estimates 100 meters could last us 4 to 5 years, and the price of meters is just going up. So I want to just thank you all for your flexibility. I know we don't like adding miscellaneous things to special meetings, but he didn't feel like this could wait for March 4th because he wanted to act on as quick as possible. So I'm acknowledging I did it and I'm apologizing and I'm thanking Landon. I'm being appreciative for your flexibility in your response to this timely manner.
Feel free to suck up more. too.
So,
Yeah, that's we appreciate the flexibility, especially when there are opportunities like this.
Well, tell Dave too, thanks for looking out, because I think if we're gonna save some money on this, I mean, kudos to Dave.
yeah, absolutely.
Maybe we should buy 200 of them, sell them on eBay.
I did ask, he does have the space to store it. So,
And I assume this isn't gonna destroy our budgets or anything like that.
nope, there's money there to do it. So we have the budget for it, we have the funds for it, and he will find the space for 100 meters. And he expects them to be delivered. We do not have to go retrieve.
I'd make a motion to approve buying of the water meters.
Motion's been made by Baumgartner, seconded by Patterness to purchase these discounted water meters. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion's been made by Patterness to adjourn, seconded by Evers. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Thank you very much, everybody. We're adjourned.